easy go.
Hello smart people, Mr. Ace here. This video is for Math 1 students. Today is Thursday, September 14, 2023. Today we're going to go over Quizzette 4. We're going to do the IB test review. So I have two videos which cover all the questions on your handout. So we finished the front page yesterday. We're going to finish the back side today. But if you're not ready to move on to the back side, feel free to go back to the front page. Watch all the video again. I have extra handout. If you want to redo your practice test, feel free to text those handouts to start over. Okay. Sometimes we learn things one time and I go over the question with you. You write everything down. You think that you get it, but maybe you not really get it. So try the test again by yourself to see if you understand it. Okay. Otherwise, if you have any question, come after school today for tutoring. Tutoring is happen as usual after school until 4 p.m. Alright, so let's go over our Quizzette today. Quizzette day 4. So evaluate 8x to the 10th power, y to the 5th power, times 9 times x, y to the 6th power. So as we learned this in class, the first step we're going to do is group. We're going to group them. 8 times 9, and then x to the 10th power. Oops, I'm sorry about that. X to the 10th power times x, and then y to the 5th power times y to the 6th power. Okay. After we group them by kind, like the numbers together, the same variable together, now we're going to work it out. 8 times 9 is 72. X to the 10th power times x to the 1st power. So x to the 10th power is x times x times x 10 times, and then times another x. So the total of 11x. Okay. As we learned that we can use the product rule to add the exponent. 10 plus 1 is 11. Same thing for the y. Y to the 5th power is y times y times y 5 times. Y to the 6th power is y times y times y times y 6 times. So the total of 11y. Or we can use the product rule by add the power. 5 plus 6 is 11. Alright, that's it for number 1. Number 2, we have 28 a to the 3rd power, b to the 3rd power divided by 7 a b to the 3rd power. So we can do this two ways. We can use the expanded form and reduce our fractions. So for example, you have 28. I think I need to fix the thickness of the color here. 28 over 7. A to the 3rd power means that you have 3a. 1, 2, 3. That is a to the 3rd power. And then at the bottom you have one letter a. And then b to the 3rd power means that b times b times b 3 times. And the bottom you have b times b times b 3 times. So 28 over 7 can be reduced by 7. That will give you 4 over 1. Okay. A divided by A, they divide out, give you 1 times or 1 whole. Right? So 1 times 4 is still 4. Then you have 2a left, so that will be a squared. For the b divided by b is 1 times. B divided by b is 1 time, or is create 1 whole. So that is just 1 times 1 times 1 times the 4 in the front, so it's still 4. And b over here, 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 from the beginning, which is still 1. So basically all b's are cancelled out. We only left with 4a squared over 1, which can be understood as 4a squared, because whatever divided by 1 will be itself. Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm about to move on to problem 3. Problem 2, you have another option to do is use the quotient rule. 28 divided by 7 which give you 4. Quotient rule said that if you divide the exponent a to the 3rd power divided by a, we can subtract the power. So which means it's 3 minus There's no number at the bottom a, which means it's a to the first power, so 3 minus 1. Then same thing with the b. B to the third power divided by b to the third power, we can use the quotient rule to subtract the power. So we end up with 4a to the second power, b to the 0. And we learned this in class, whatever raised to 0, which is 1. So basically 4a squared times 1, which is 4a squared. Okay. Number 3, you have 12x to the third power, y, z to the fourth power, raised to the second power. So we have to use the power rule to distribute the power. 12 to the first power, x to the third power, y to the first power, and z to the fourth power. So we distribute 2 into the parenthesis. So distribute power to power. That will be 12 squared, x to the 6th, y to the 2nd, and z to the 8th. Okay. We multiply power to power. 12 squared means that 12 times 12 twice, which is 144. 12 squared is 144. x6, y squared, z8. Okay, problem number 4. So we're going to compare two expressions, square root of 23.6 and square root of 250 divided by 3. So which one is larger, or they are both equal? So square root of 23.6, which is not a perfect square number, we need to round it to the closest square root. So 2 square root that square root of 23.6 stay in the between, which is square root of 16 and square root of 25. Those are two perfect square numbers. 23.6 is closer to 25 than 16, so we're going to round up. Square root of 23.6 approximately around square root of 25, which is 5. Square root of 23.6 approximately around 5. So we know the first expression, which is about 5. Okay, I'm going to switch this to the approximation symbol like this. Okay, now we're going to look at the second expression, square root of 250. What is square root of 250? Square root of 250 stay in the between of two perfect square number. Okay, so which is 14 times 14 is 196, and 15 times 15 is 225. So it's 225 first. 225, and then 16 times 16, I believe it's 256. Okay, 256. So 250 is closer to 256 than 225. So we're gonna round up. Square root of 250 approximately around square root of 256, which is 16. Now keep in mind that the problem didn't ask you what is square root of 256. They asked you what is square root of 250 divided by 3. So we know square root of 250 approximately around 16. 16 divided by 3. So that will give you 5 whole and then 1/3. So this is more than 5. The other one is approximately around 5, but since 23.6 less than 25, so this 5 is less than 5. It's somewhere around 5, but it's less than 5. This is more than 5. It's 5 whole and 1/3. So your right hand side is larger than the left hand side. Alright, that's it for the Quizzette. You can put your Quizzette away and take out your IAB test review. We're gonna go back together on the next handout.